Hello everyone. Today I'll discuss about the anatomy of the submandibular salivary gland. It is a major salivary gland. There are actually three pairs of major salivary gland. They are the parotid gland, submandibular gland and the sublingual gland. I repeat, parotid gland, submandibular gland and the sublingual gland. Parotid gland is present on the side of your face in front of the earlobe, and submandibular and sublingual gland is seen in the floor of the mouth. They are present in the floor of the mouth. In this video, I'll tell you only about the submandibular salivary gland. Submandibular salivary gland is the largest of all the major salivary glands. It is situated in the digastric triangle. It is situated in the digastric triangle and it is about the size of the walnut. It is about J-shaped. Okay, it is J-shaped. So, it is J-shaped. This is the gland. It is J-shaped and you'll have your mylohyoid muscle running like this and intending the border of the gland. Therefore, this mylohyoid muscle divides the gland into a larger part and a smaller part. The larger part is the superficial part and the smaller part is the deeper part. So, the submandibular gland is divided by the mylohyoid muscle into a superficial part. We will know first in detail about the superficial part of the gland. So, consider this as the superficial part, okay, and this is your mandible, we say the body of the mandible. This is the base of the mandible and consider this to be the mylohyoid line, okay, consider a line is like this and this to be your mylohyoid line which is situated on the medial surface of the mandible, and the superficial part of the gland has three surfaces. This is your inferior surface, this is your medial surface and this is your lateral surface. So, it has three surfaces, an inferior surface, a medial surface and the lateral surface. The gland extends from the base of the mandible till the mylohyoid line of the mandible, and there are about two layers of the deep cervical fascia, okay, two layers. The two layers of the deep cervical fascia covers the gland. One is a superficial layer and other is a deeper layer. The superficial layer covers the inferior surface of the gland and it is attached to the base of the mandible, and the deeper layer covers the medial surface of the gland and it gets attached to the mylohyoid line of the mandible. So, there are two layers of the deep cervical fascia which covers the gland. One is a superficial and other is a deeper layer. The superficial layer covers the inferior surface and gets attached to the base of the mandible, and the deeper surface covers the medial surface of the gland and attaches to the mylohyoid line of the mandible. This is your medial surface, lateral surface and inferior surface. We will see in detail of the relations with each surfaces. So, first we will take the inferior surface. From superficial to deep, okay, it is covered by skin. First the skin, next the platysma. Platysma is the muscle, and you will have the cervical branch of the facial nerve, and you will have the deeper fascia and you have facial vein and then submandibular lymph nodes, okay. So, these are the structures which cover the inferior surface of the superficial part of the submandibular gland from outwards to inwards, that is from superficial to deep. So, on the outside you will have your skin, below that you will have the platysma, deeper to that you will have cervical branch of the facial nerve, then your deep fascia and your facial vein and the submandibular lymph nodes. We will now see the structures related to the lateral surface, okay. On the lateral side you will have your submandibular fossa on the medial surface of the mandible, that is there is a fossa named as submandibular fossa. Your gland is present in that fossa of the mandible. Okay, so you'll have your submandibular fossa and facial artery. You'll have facial artery and insertion of the medial pterygoid muscle. Medial pterygoid muscle is a very important muscle. It is one of your muscle of mastication. So these three structures are related to the lateral surface of the superficial part of the submandibular salivary gland. They are submandibular fossa, which lodges the gland, and you'll have your facial artery and the medial pterygoid muscle. We'll now see the structures related to the medial surface. There are actually three muscles. They are mylohyoid muscle, hyoglossus muscle and the styloglossus muscle. Mylohyoid is seen in the front, that is in the anterior part, and the hyoglossus and the styloglossus is present posteriorly, that is backwards. Okay, mylohyoid, hyoglossus and the styloglossus. These are the relations of the superficial part. So there are actually three surfaces, an inferior surface, a lateral surface and a medial surface, and then we have seen the relations of these surfaces. We will now see in detail about the deeper part of the gland. So consider this as the deeper part and this is the superficial part. Okay. So as we have seen, the superficial and the deeper part is divided by the mylohyoid muscle. So this line is your mylohyoid muscle and this muscle is the hyoglossus muscle. Okay, so this line is the hyoglossus muscle. So the deeper part is present in between your mylohyoid muscle and the hyoglossus muscle, and consider this as anterior side and this as the posterior side. Okay, so the deeper part posteriorly is continuous with the superficial part of the gland, and you'll have your sublingual gland here. We have seen there are actually three pairs of salivary gland, parotid, submandibular and sublingual. You'll have your sublingual gland here. So the anterior part of the gland is continuous with the, it is present behind the sublingual gland. So that's it. You'll have your mylohyoid muscle here and the hyoglossus muscle here. This is a superficial part and this is the deeper part, and this is the sublingual gland. Posteriorly, the gland is continuous with the superficial part and anteriorly it is related to the sublingual gland. So coming to the relations of the deeper part of the gland, we have laterally, say this is the lateral side and this is a medial side. Consider this as a upper, that is superior, and this is inferior. Okay, and this is the deeper part of the gland. On the lateral side you have your mylohyoid muscle. On the medial side you have your hyoglossus muscle. Superiorly you will have the lingual nerve. You have the lingual nerve hanging from the submandibular ganglion. Okay, remember submandibular ganglion. And inferiorly you will have the hypoglossal nerve. Hypoglossal nerve is the 12th cranial nerve. So these are the relations of the deeper part. That is, on the lateral side you will have the mylohyoid muscle. On the medial side you will have hyoglossus muscle. Superiorly you will have lingual nerve along with the submandibular ganglion, and inferiorly you will have the hypoglossal nerve. So this is about the relations of the deeper part. We will now see about the submandibular gland duct. As there are a pair of glands, that is two glands, we will have two ducts. Okay, the duct is very thin walled and it is about 5 mm thick. Okay, it is about 5 mm thick. The duct actually arises from the anterior surface of the deeper part of the gland. Say this is the deeper part of the gland, your duct arises here. Okay, so this is the duct, this is the anterior surface of the deeper part of the gland, and your duct arises from here and it runs along the hyoglossus muscle. We have seen, you'll have your hyoglossus muscle on the middle side of the deeper part of the gland. So the duct runs along the hyoglossus muscle with lingual nerve above and the hypoglossal nerve below. So where does the duct opens? The duct opens in the floor of your mouth. See, this is the under surface of your tongue. That is, when you see your tongue from below, it looks like this. and say this is the tip of the tongue and it is the base. This is the frenum of your tongue, okay, frenum. That is, you'll have a thin strand like structure, no, which attaches your tongue to the floor of the mouth, or else your tongue will be hanging out. So this is the frenum of the tongue, and this is your submandibular duct. Okay, so this is your submandibular duct. So the duct opens on the floor of the mouth on either side of the frenulum of the tongue. So this is the frenum of the tongue on its either side. That is, say this is your left side and this is your right side. Since you have two submandibular glands, you will have two submandibular ducts. So they open on the side of the frenulum of the tongue. So this is about the submandibular gland duct. So we'll now see about the blood supply of the gland. Arterial supply is by the facial artery. So it is supplied by the facial artery. And vein, you'll have your facial vein and also the lingual vein. Okay, it is drained either by the facial vein and the lingual vein. And the lymph nodes, it drains into the submandibular group of lymph nodes, as the name indicates, submandibular. So it drains into the submandibular group of lymph nodes. So arterial supply is by the facial artery, venous drainage is by the facial vein or the lingual vein, and the lymph nodes drains into the submandibular group of lymph nodes. We will see the nerve supply of the gland. See, there are three types of supply. Okay, one is a secretomotor supply, okay, secretomotor supply, sensory supply, and a vasomotor supply. Okay, so all the glands, all the salivary glands will have these three distinct type of supplies: a sensory supply, a secretomotor supply, and the vasomotor supply. So first we will see the secretomotor supply of the gland. Okay, so there is something called as superior salivatory nucleus. Okay, the superior salivatory nucleus is situated in your brain. Okay, so superior salivatory nucleus. So from the superior salivatory nucleus, you will carry the nerve fibers through the nervus intermedius. Okay, there is nerve called as nervus intermedius. Okay, from there the nervus intermedius carries the nerve fibers, and then by the seventh cranial nerve, which is your facial nerve. Okay, and then by the chorda tympani. Chorda tympani is a branch of your facial nerve. So the chorda tympani carries the nerve fibers, and then it goes like this and join your lingual nerve. Okay, lingual nerve is a branch of the mandibular nerve. Okay, mandibular nerve is a branch of, again, the trigeminal nerve. Trigeminal nerve is your fifth cranial nerve. So from the superior salivatory nucleus, it goes to the nervus intermedius. From there, seventh cranial nerve, which is your facial nerve, and its branch, the chorda tympani, and it connects with the lingual nerve, which is a branch of the trigeminal nerve. Now this lingual nerve will relay in a gland. This gland is your will relay in a ganglion. So that is your submandibular ganglion. Okay, so the lingual nerve relays in the submandibular ganglion. From this ganglion, you will have your postganglionic fibers. So this is your postganglionic fibers, and these are your preganglionic fibers. You are the preganglionic fibers, and this is the postganglionic fibers. Okay, this is also carried by the lingual nerve. So from the lingual nerve, it goes in supply or gland. Okay, your submandibular gland. Okay, from the nerve, it goes in supply the submandibular gland. I tell you again, from the brain, that is superior salivatory nucleus. From superior salivatory nucleus to the nervus intermedius. Superior salivatory nucleus to the nervus intermedius, and then through the facial nerve, and then the chorda tympani, and it joins the lingual nerve, and it relays with the submandibular ganglion. And from the submandibular ganglion, the postganglionic fibers are again carried by the lingual nerve, and then it goes and supplies the submandibular gland. So this is about the secretomotor supply. And then The sensory supply is given by the lingual gland. Okay, the sensory supply is given by the lingual gland. And we also see no other one supply, vasomotor supply. So the vasomotor supply is by the plexus around the facial artery. Okay, the facial artery supplies a gland. So consider this as your facial artery. There is a nerve plexus around the facial artery. This gives the vasomotor supply. It's about the nerve supply of the gland. Okay, secretomotor supply we have seen a longer pathway. Please remember, and you'll have the vasomotor supply and then the sensory supplies. Sensory supply. So this is about the nerve supply of the gland. Now I'll give you a good news. It is both the submandibular gland and the sublingual gland. Okay, they both are supplied by the same group of nerve fibers. So the good news is you don't have to learn a new pathway for the sublingual gland. Okay, it is the same as that for the submandibular gland. We will now recall the things we have seen. Okay, so first the basics about your submandibular gland, and then we saw how the mylohyoid nerve divides it into a superficial part and a deeper part. And with the superficial part we have seen three surfaces and its relations, and with the deeper part also we have seen its relations. And then in the superficial part we have seen there are two layers of the deep cervical fascia covering the superficial part. And then we saw about the duct, your submandibular duct, how the duct runs and where it drains. And then we have seen the blood supply, its arterial supply, venous drainage and the lymphatic drainage, and the nerve supply. Of the nerve supply we have seen the secretomotor, sensory and the vasomotor. So these are the things we have seen in this video, and if they ask you in your examination for an essay or a short note, you should write these, or your answer should contain all of these things. And remember, draw as much as diagram as you can. I'll always insist you to draw diagrams. The diagrams carries more marks, especially in anatomy. I hope this video was useful. We learn about the maxillary nerve. Maxillary nerve is a branch of the trigeminal nerve. We learn about this nerve in the next video. And to support me and my channel, please like, share and subscribe my channel. Thanks for watching.